Does the new emissions data show that replacing older stoves with modern stoves has reduced emissions? On the 13th of February, the UK government released new emissions data for PM10 and PM2.5, which showed that those emissions were at the lowest level since 1990. The Stove Industry Association and stove manufacturers were quick to claim that the domestic combustion levels have reduced because old stoves have been replaced with modern stoves and better quality fuel is being used. Charnwood Stoves posted on Blue Sky and Twitter saying, "Make the switch to a modern stove to help reduce further." An article from the SIA quoted the chair of the organisation, Andy Hill, saying, "This significant reduction in emissions from domestic combustion can be attributed to several factors, including the adoption of modern stove appliances and the use of better quality fuel." I have a question for the stove industry. Do you have any evidence that the fall in PM 2.5 emissions is due to replacing older stoves with modern stoves? The report from the UK government clearly states that, in these more recent years, considerable decreases in emissions from some sources, for example from road transport and energy industries, have been partly offset by increases in emissions from other activities such as wood burning in domestic settings. This is a graph of the new data for PM 2.5 showing domestic combustion, wood used as a fuel, which is part of domestic combustion, and also road transport, and energy, i.e. power stations. Later this year, the National Atmospheric Emissions Inventory will publish the data that goes along with this emissions report. If we look at the data they published last year for emissions up to 2022, it shows the activity data for domestic combustion sources. This graph shows the activity data for stoves and fireplaces split into wood and other fuels. You can see the non-wood figures have reduced since 1990. The majority of this is due to reduction in the use of coal. You can see that wood reached its minimum in 2008, which was just over 10,000 terajoules. And then in 2022, the wood figure is just over 34,000. You can break down the data into stoves and fireplaces. This graph shows that usage of basic stoves has declined slightly, fireplaces have increased slightly, then upgraded stoves have increased since they were introduced before starting to decline from 2019, and then eco-designed stoves have increased since they were introduced. The total figure clearly shows that the activity data for wood burning has increased since 2008. You can also break down the figures into types of wood being burnt, which clearly shows that seasoned wood is being used more. The SIA tell people to use ready-to-burn wood, which is the dry and seasoned wood in this graph. So when the SIA say the adoption of modern stove appliances and the use of better quality fuel is driving the reduction of PM 2.5 emissions, I think the data shows the complete opposite. That wood burning is increasing because of modern stoves and the increasing use of better quality fuels, and that's contributing to a significant increase in PM 2.5 emissions in the UK. Also, the survey the government report is based on confirms that 46% of stove installs since 2017 were new installations, so this will contribute to an increase in wood burning pollution because of new wood burners. The new report has lower emission factors for wood burning compared to the data released in 2024, but this won't change the fact that wood usage has increased since 2008. The new NAEI data released later this year is still going to show the same increases in wood burning. So please can the Stove Industry Association confirm the evidence they have seen to show how modern stoves using better quality fuel are contributing to a significant reduction in emissions from domestic combustion? Thanks for watching.